What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for joining me today. I have a very highly requested video for you guys. It's the Speedflow Plus in the brand new like red and reflective red, orange, and white colorway. Very excited to unbox these. I have yet to actually try them on my feet. I've seen them in person before and they're absolutely stunning, but I'm very excited to show you guys today. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel, like the video if you get value from it, and let's hop straight into the video. Alright guys, so they come in a box that looks like this. Pretty reasonable for the X Speedflow. All the Plus models come in this kind of drawer style box like this, where you open it up this way and has the big marked X logo. I think it's super cool that they put the models in here. I think if they were to put the 0.1 models as well in the big nice boxes, that would be awesome, especially because you don't really pay that much less for those 0.1 models, and they're really good quality as well. They're top end, so I would recommend Adidas. Make sure your top end boots are all in the really nice boxes. But here we go. Let's open these bad boys up. They are so cool looking. So on right here says faster than 299,792,458 meters per second. I'm gonna guess that's the speed of light. Speed of light, maybe. Anyway, so open the box up, and here we go, guys. So these come open, and they come in this awesome red string bag. This is pretty standard for the top end boots. All the Plus models come with this kind of mesh string bag. They're not anything crazy. To be honest, I am a fan of them just because they breathe really well. So if you have really smelly feet or you've got really stinky boots, then they actually air out really nicely. So I would say that I'd give them like a 3.5 out of 5 or a 7 out of 10, just because they're not incredible, but they do the job really well. The one thing that I will say on the Predator Freak Pluses with all the little spikes, those actually get really annoying because they are perfect size to stick in these little holes of the mesh. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So open these up, and holy moly. Okay, get these out of the box for you guys. Wow. There you go. Okay, so the Speedflow Plus is an absolutely stunning pair of football boots. So if these end up fitting really well and I end up wanting to make these one of the pairs that I use full-time in a couple weeks when I get back on the pitch full-time playing again, I will actually be not using these. I will be using the pair of the black ones that just came out. I think those look absolutely amazing. I'm more of a black boot player over a red boot player. I think red boots are awesome, but I don't think they are for me. But these are super cool, guys. Here's a closer look at them. They've got white on the inside with the red and fluorescent yellow. And of course on the back, they've got the really nice sole plate with the Karbatex insole, which makes pushing off really awesome. I talked about this in my messy Speedflow 0.1 video. The Karbatex insole and this sole plate, I think, even though the aggressiveness of the Vapor 14 or Vapor 13 sole plate, I think it's more aggressive than this is. I think this is a better objective sole plate. So I think performance-wise, this is the best you're gonna get on the market. So that's something to keep in mind as well. This is a prime knit woven upper with the covering, like it's like Nike's ACC, but it's their covering. And then you've got the 3D molded heel counter right on the outside, which is awesome. You've got obviously those little pods that go on the back of your Achilles, and the non-stretchy material. So you've got obviously the prime knit here on the top, but then you've got that coating that goes over the entire boot, which creates the structure for it, because otherwise your foot would flop around and it would slide all over the place when they were in these boots. It goes almost up to the collar, so there's not a whole lot of stretch. As you can see, there's not a ton of stretch, which could be incredible to wear, similar to the generation before these. Obviously you've got the Speedflow, but the ones the generation before often were very difficult to get into, but they had that plasticky sensation around the outside. And that's something that I did praise the Speedflow 0.1 of a lot, was because they listened, Adidas seemed to listen, and put the prime knit material against your ankle, so that right against that curve where it touches the lower end of your ankle, it's much more comfortable on feet than it would be, of course, with that plasticky feeling of the other boots. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to. I'll take the mesh out really quick, or I guess not the mesh, the balled up paper, to show you guys how insanely soft it is. It is a different material, slightly different material to the Speedflow 0.1s, but as you can see, so I'll give it to you guys up here really close. As you can see, they are so soft. I mean, there's literally no, it feels like there's no structure, which could be really dangerous, excuse me, but this outside part with the cage on the inside, and I showed that to you guys on the Speedflow 0.1 as well, there's that same cage on the outside that's supposed to hold your foot in place, even though it's not, as you can kind of see it there, and you can see it on the yellow here as well. So again, absolutely fantastic, super soft right outside the box. I am dying to get these on my feet. These are going to be really light for most people. I believe they're about the same as the old generation that I reviewed several weeks ago, almost a month and a half ago now, the black and dark blue ones. And so the Speedflow Speedflow Pluses should be very similar to those. So they'll be right around the 7-ounce mark, 6.9 to probably 7.2, depending on what size you wear. Oftentimes, obviously, the bigger, more material you have, the heavier they are, but they are really super light in hand. Let me get this other one out as well, because I will for sure be trying these on in just a second, as you guys know from my videos, which you're welcome to go check out, because I do on-feet portions as well. And from a pro footballer's perspective, laceless boots can be sort of hit or miss. I would say that these, so I've heard with other reviewers and other people who have reviewed these boots, that they are actually playable as a laceless boot. Oftentimes you see pros wearing laceless boots, like Son on Tottenham, and he wears these version and the version before that and the laceless ones, and obviously he wears them, but they're custom fit to his foot. So for the general population, wearing laceless boots sometimes isn't the right move, because it's got to fit your foot absolutely perfectly in order to really do the job of objective performance. And to be honest, most of the high-level pros that you see aren't wearing custom boots. So yeah, okay, the Manchester Uniteds, the Tottenhams, the Barcelonas, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, all those big clubs, all of them are wearing custom fitted boots, because all of those players are sponsored by particular brands. However, you step down into the championship where you've got guys that are on still a lot of money, but they're not sponsored by any particular boot brand. A lot of those guys are just wearing the sort of over-the-counter, if you will, boots. And it's really important, especially for laceless boots, to fit basically perfectly out of the box. And obviously you break them in a little bit. So once they're broken in, they've got to be so good that it warrants wearing these over the 0.1s, because with the 0.1s, obviously you have laces, which gives it a much easier time to break in, or not to break in, but to have much more lateral stability in the boot, which I think is super important when you're talking about a high level of play. You're talking about the 0.1% that really matter over the course of the game. It's really important to make sure that you don't have to worry about slipping inside your boots. So I actually have a pair of grip socks on right now, just using one of the many pairs that I have in my drawer. These are the Pure Grip socks, so they're SR4 Use brand actually. Total plug, so go check out that website. They are really comfortable. As far as like objective performance in the game with a pair of boots, I've worn them in training and stuff, and they've been great. Haven't worn them in a game before because I prefer some of the other sock materials of other brands, but that's just to say that I will be trying these on with grip socks to show you how they fit with a little bit of a thicker sock and a sock that has grip elements on the bottom and through the heel. So that will really help give you guys a good idea of how these fit and feel on feet in a practical way. That will be super helpful moving forward if you do end up wanting to purchase these. I would recommend going true to size. The Speedflow 0.1s were a size 9 US. These are also a size 9 US, so they are perfect length, and we'll discover when I put these on my feet whether they are wide enough. The Speedflow .1s fit my foot really well, and for how wide my feet are, I was really impressed with how these fit, or excuse me, how the .1s fit. So hopefully, if the pluses do feel really, really good, I will definitely be considering them for my top 2 or 3 boots that I'll have in rotation when I start playing again in a few weeks. Stay tuned for a video about picking the pair of boots. I'm gonna have a whole range of boots that I pick from, and I'll be narrowing it down very soon, so stay tuned for that. Without further ado, guys, let's hop into the on-feet portion of the video to show you guys how the Speedflow pluses fit and feel on feet. All right, fam, so hopefully this isn't super windy. I'll try to speak up a bit. So I've got some, again, the Pure Grip socks, which have the grip elements on the bottom. This will be really interesting when looking at how they fit and feel on feet. I'm actually gonna sit down to wear these because I wanna get them on as best I possibly can and not absolutely kill myself. So we're gonna put the right one on first because that's the non-surgery foot, and right away, they are definitely difficult to get on. Let me try and go in sideways a little bit. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, so let me put the left one on and then I'll explain. Wow, okay, these are really impressive. Let me throw the left one on and I will share my thoughts and feelings. This is a monumental effort to get these on because they are very tight and they should fit really tight. They obviously shouldn't hurt necessarily when you first put them on, but they should definitely be really, really snug. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see some close-ups of these, how they fit and feel on feet. But guys, I reckon these are probably the most snug and best fitting laceless boots I've ever had on my feet. And you know that I absolutely loved those Predator Freak Pluses, which I wore for training sessions. These are incredible as far as how they fit and feel. The ankle area is so much better than the previous generation, which did have that really plasticky sensation on the outside of the foot. It was really, really tough to get sort of a comfortable fit and feel because it was so plasticky. I found that it wasn't very comfortable. What I will say with these is that they hug your foot, and a lot of people have talked about how this little flap comes down, which realistically for me doesn't really change the way these boots fit. Like, yeah, I guess you can kind of feel it when they're up against your ankle, but if it flips down during training, I'm not really worried about it that much. It doesn't really make a huge difference to me, so we'll just kind of flip it down like that anyway. But yeah, guys, these are really incredible. Obviously you've got your entire foot is that striking surface, so it is something to keep in mind when you are playing. You've got a decent amount of grip on the upper, and they've done a really good job of making that coating super easy to flick and juggle the ball. It's got great feel, and yeah, guys, these are awesome. The Karbatex insole is fantastic. I am so stoked to put these through a training session. I think I will definitely be adding these to the top 3 list of boots that I want to be wearing, because for the first time ever, I think I'll be in a laceless boot for an actual game, because these genuinely are some of the best boots I've tried on, and they're snug and they feel good, but they also stretch a little bit to your foot size. I would say if you have excessively wide feet like I do be aware that they're gonna fit pretty snug and they're probably gonna hurt for a session or 2, but I would say that these are gonna break in pretty well and mold to the shape of your foot. Obviously, the lateral stability is actually really good, and I would recommend wearing grip socks because it does make a difference in these boots. It does feel like I have way more, there's those boots, guys. It does feel like I have way more control over how my foot moves inside the boot. The boot feels absolutely like a sock. You really lose the sensation of actually having boots on your feet, which I think is so cool. So that is something to keep in mind. I really don't know what else to say about these because they are genuinely fantastic boots. I think I could wear the .1s or the pluses, which is really awesome to say in an Adidas speed boot, because most of the time Adidas speed boots are not very wide fitting. The Puma Ultra was an awesome boot for me. I have the new ones coming soon for a review, so it will be a total clash of the titans between those and these for a speed boot that'll end up in my top 3 that I'll be wearing for training sessions and games. So that's it for the video, guys. Thanks again for joining me, and hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hit that like button if you did. Smash that subscribe button if you're into something like that. And of course, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.